Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Super Speedway Xfinity Series here on Thursday nights on Green White Checkered TV. We've got a great race in store for you at the famed 2.5-mile oval at the World Center of Racing here in Daytona Beach, Florida. It is a cool 65 degrees here at night. It is cloudy, there is no wind, and we have got a bunch of racers ready to put on a great show for you tonight. Matt Wagner, my pal alongside me, is up here in the booth. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Oh, it's jamming some music, getting ready for the start of the race here.
Getting ready indeed. We've got about 3.5 minutes left on the qualifying session before we get into the grid, and who knows, maybe another pre-race predictive winner interview
No,
before the race after the grid,
no,
maybe, Matt.
I think we might do somebody. You know
Okay,
what?
we'll have to see. You'll have to
Just
tease with the
some
teasing,
guy.
maybe. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to. How about that? Let's
Okay,
do that.
all right. Yeah, we've got 3 more minutes left in qualifying. We'll bring that grid up for you guys, and I guess I'm curious to gather your thoughts, Matt. Obviously, we've got the nighttime, as Larry Mack would say, which would be the right time. But it's dark out. There's no sun on the track. It's cooler in the sim tonight. Does that have any effect on how these guys are going to race around this 2.5-mile oval?
No effect whatsoever. I'm sorry, these guys are
None at all. Okay.
still watching that. They're watching the Atlanta race. Oh my God, the finish. Uh, yeah, no, tell me about it. I don't think we'll see this again in my lifetime, but in the similar did have some 0.00 finishes here on Air 51 here. IndyCar series, yes. This series, yes, we have. But will we see it again tonight? To be determined.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, an incredible race in the NASCAR Cup Series, going three wide at the finish. Pretty incredible to do that in the real world, especially at a track like Atlanta. So that was a lot of fun to watch. And we just came off of Atlanta last week. Not quite as much action there as we saw in the end stages of the Cup race, but still plenty going on. And before we get to the end of qualifying here, we're actually going to give an update finally on the point standings and that playoff picture there, as we'll highlight those you can see on your screen. So we've got Kevin Freese leading the way. 5 starts. He's got one win, but he's got 5 top 10s in 5 starts with 183 points on the board. Rick Sanchez has had a great season so far with 2 wins, 4 top 10s for himself, 167. Back to Gabe Butler. He had that one DNF, came back and won the following week at iRacing Super Speedway with 163. Justin Lewis, who has been pretty steady and patient throughout the season, has led some laps and has capitalized on some good finishes, as well as Jacob Lee, one of the Highlighter Bros racing drivers, as we see Nick Wing and Jim Brooks there in 6th and 7th. Andrew Pileshi, Maxwell Caldwell, Carl Lingle, the top 10 at the moment. We'll have to update you on what the cutoff will be, but it's a pretty solid race all the way through to 20th at the moment here. It's either going to be 12 or 16 drivers that you see, and if it's 12, the cutoff is 2 point separation between Eric Laurie and Ambrose Kniebel, and if it's 16, the cutoff is 1 point between Keith Horner and Dean Wilkinson. So no matter what, it is going to be a solid battle to start the playoffs, and then I'm sure a great set of 4 races that we will get to see here in a few weeks' time to crown a champion for the first time here in 2024. And we'll have to wait and see how all of that action unfolds here on Green White Checker TV. But for now, the action continuing tonight as we have results for the qualifying session. And we'll bring those up on the screen. As you'll see there, Rick Sanchez grabs that bonus point and the pole in that number 5 Chevrolet to his outside Eric Laurie, 1,000th of a second slower in the outside of row number 1. Eric Laurie in the 071 machine. And we've got Adam Kilday and Jack Walls. They're going to round out row number 2 for tonight's race with Carl Lingle in the top 5 there on the inside of row number 3. Bud Steele in the 6th, starting 6th in row number 3 on the outside. Austin Call, Brandon Paul are going to make up your 4th row of your starting grid for tonight. And Andrew Paleschi as well as Chad Jones will round out that top 10. We see Nick Wing there in that number 28. He's going to start on the inside of row number 6 in the 11th position. Jacob Lee of the Highlighter Bros to his outside. Second page of the grid, we've got Nathan Warner on the inside in the 37 machine, as well as Kevin Freese in the 25 to the outside. Maxwell Caldwell there in the top 15 with Gabe Butler not qualifying for the first time in a little while. Gabe Butler's going to start in 16th.
You don't need it anyway.
Yeah. We'll have actually Jim Brooks will be promoted to the 17th position, as well as Seth Groover on row number 9. Keith Horner and Ambrose Kniebel will be on row number 10, with Dean Wilkinson and Bob Fitzgerald on row 11, and Brandon Briggs will round out the starting grid for tonight. We've actually got one more entry, and that'll be Mike Rimkus. So actually, Mike Rimkus and Brandon Briggs will start side by side on row number 12.
Well, Boomer, I got a surprise for you.
All right, let's hear it.
You know what? I'm 1 for 1. I'm hope to make it 2 for 2. I don't want to bring the jinx, but I'm going to bring him in here. I'm going to go with Maxwell Caldwell.
Okay,
This guy is
right.
doof. This guy is over here is so determined to get a win here this evening. Max, I know you've been. It's been a struggle to beat these team boot knockers, but do you have a strategy here tonight?
We do. We're actually going to change it up a little bit. We typically like to kind of ride around, save that fuel a little bit, but since the fuel numbers have changed up some, we're like, screw it. We're going to go for it. We're going to try to lead some laps and see if that strategy ends up paying off toward the end. Got our team of 4 or 5 guys here, and we're going to see if we can't do something with these boot knockers. I love the boot knockers. I don't diss on them, but man, y'all know how it is. We got to get some different winners in here, and that's what we're going to try to do here tonight.
Yeah, Maxwell, it's definitely going to be fun to see you guys do this under the lights. Are there any special considerations with racing at night? Obviously, there'll be a little more grip on the track, but are you looking forward to, or well, two things, any changes with racing at night, and what are you most looking forward to?
Nighttime is fun, but nighttime I feel like it's more dangerous. I feel like we may see more cautions in the night than we do in the day just because it gets everybody amped up. But I love Daytona. Daytona's beautiful. It's fun. It's fast. And Boomer, I do got to tell you one thing, buddy, before y'all let me go. You got to remember I am the real 94. You knew that was coming, though, didn't
you? Here we go. All right, Max. I'm hopefully make it 2 for 2. I'm gonna let you go, and best of luck to you there tonight.
10-4. Y'all have fun watching. Should be a good show.
Yeah, good luck, Maxwell.
Thank you.
One of these days, I'll tell him that I have a real world track championship in that number, but I don't have the heart to tell him, so he can. No, all good and fun, and obviously him and I run the same number in iRacing, but have yet to be able to settle that on the track. So I know for him, I don't mind the bold claim, but one day I'll have to get out there and see who the real 94 is. But all in good fun pulling for those guys tonight as we've got the front of the field ready to go, ready to take that
green flag.
And we are underway. $75 laps for tonight.
Hopefully that will spark some motivation in Max.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got a teammate all the way up there in 9th right now with Brandon Paul. Andrew Paleschi actually in 8th as well, so they're already connected a little bit there, but Richard Sanchez is going to take that pole and take the lead for now in that new scheme, but same sponsor for Chevy Land Chevrolet in that number 5 Camaro, being pushed by another Chevrolet in the 85 of Adam Kilday. Carl Lingle is 3rd in the inside lane. Outside lane is the 071 of Eric Laurie, who's fallen back just a little bit, but he's got the push from looks like the 83 of Jack Walls and the 6 of Bud Steele. So still the same running order in the outside and inside lanes at the front of the field as Rick Sanchez is going to make me a liar and jump to the high side here. They did it a lot a few weeks ago. They made me a liar, so we'll have to wait and see if they do that again. But Adam Kilday is going to jump to the inside now, promote himself. And you see a little bit of snake in there in the backstretch. That cold weather definitely gives a little more grip. It's not quite as hot and slick, but as Maxwell said, we'll have to wait and see. He's predicting some chaos here early on, but yeah, we'll have to just wait and see what's in store.
Well, it's not usually the cold track temp. It's heat has to build the tires forward to make grip on the cold surface. So it'll be about a couple of laps here. So the tires will start feeling pretty good.
Yeah, not necessarily as crucial as it is in Atlanta for those tires. We obviously heard a lot of guys trying to take those right sides or four tires at the end of Atlanta last week to get that grip, and that really ultimately led to pretty much everybody in the top four had taken tires of some sorts late in the race. So that's not going to come into effect nearly as much at Daytona, but it absolutely is a little bit. And especially as you mentioned there, Matt, as the tires get up to temperature, you kind of got to manage that, and it'll get a little skiddy at the end, but plenty of grip here in the nighttime. Once those tires
Most definitely.
Yeah. 3 laps in the books, 4 underway. We are still 2x2 pretty much through the entire field here. Not really a lot of movement. Dean Wilkinson's up 5 spots. Brandon Briggs is up 4. But that really pretty much everybody else is either up 1 or down 1. So there's not really too much movement so far. So not quite as much energy as we saw at the beginning of the race last week at Atlanta. Kind of just seeming like everybody's willing to ride. I guess like you said, or like they said, the big difference for some of the group that Maxwell runs with in junk food racing there, they kind of tend to stay towards the back of the pack, so you see more of a bigger pack here at the beginning, as they got the what do they got? They got the trolley, the McDonald's, the hot tamales machines out here tonight, so plenty of junk food for that team. Junk food racing. It's a fun sponsorship and fun deal.
I like hot tamales.
They're good.
Used to be my favorite when I was a kid. Not anymore. I'm old now, so it kind of gives me heartburn.
Yeah.
But I think we got a new leader now.
That we do. I almost forgot to say we got the M&Ms, the Perry the Platypus M&Ms machine of Austin Call on the inside also for junk food racing, so I'd love to see that. But yeah, Rick Sanchez grabs a lap lead, but Adam Kilday is going to try and do the same here. We got
yeah. Both teammates, actually.
Running side by side.
85 into 5. Yep.
Controlling the race for now.
For now.
Adam and Rick, along with Jacob Lee, running with the Highlighter Bros. I know Jacob has mentioned that he listens to the broadcast while he races, and I still think you are absolutely crazy for doing that, Jacob. But it is an incredible amount of support that you give to this league, and we do appreciate that greatly. As we see still 2x2 action.
I want to still Jacob Lee. You still listen to our broadcast while we race. You'll have to see. Jacob Lee, if you can hear us on the broadcast, the next time you take the backstretch, take the bus stop. Yeah, take the bus stop. Come on, slow down. He ain't doing it. No, he's not listening, obviously. Oh, he's not listening. I know we've convinced him a few times to do some stuff on the broadcast, and maybe we shouldn't try to egg that on too much, but it is fun. Yeah, no, we got to have a little fun. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Maybe we could tell him to get to the high lane as soon as he can, and if he does that, then we'll know that he's watching or listening. Yeah, I got you. Understandable. Speaking of that, looks like Eric Laurie took the bottom light, cuts right in front of Adam Kilday there, and takes the lead for now. We got a good push heading onto the backstretch here. Eric pushed by that 85, as you mentioned, still the 30 being the third car in the inside lane. A little bit of a shakeup in the outside lane. It is the 5, the 83, and the 82 there. And we've got
Dean Wilkinson moving forward a little bit more towards the back of the pack. He's now up 8 spots. Maxwell Caldwell's up 4. Jim Brooks up 6. So we got a couple movers here. Not too much movement at the front. The biggest move obviously being Eric Laurie and the 5 of Rick Sanchez swapping starting positions pretty much. Other than that, it's pretty similar to that starting grid that we saw here just 9 laps ago. It's interesting to
looks
see
like
that.
Eric Laurie is pulling the Gabe Butler move. It's like, I got my last lap, man. I'm just going to go ahead and chill.
Yeah, he's going to drop back with his teammates. It seems like they're pretty much the only team that's really kind of riding back there and hanging out. Obviously, some of the blind scroll racing drivers also doing the same, just kind of hanging out and waiting for some of the chaos. But, it's a little bit of a different pack dynamic now that we see that Junk Food Racing is really trying to be up front and lead laps. Obviously, there's not a ton of urgency from anybody up here, but there are quite a few drivers that are at the front of the pack. As you see a couple stragglers in the back, but still pretty good action 2x2, and not really anywhere for anybody to move, and no one really daring enough to try that third lane just yet. But probably about halfway through that first green flag pit cycle we are now.
Boomer, I keep saying it every week. Pit stops make or break races. We see it every week. Got to execute.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to come down to whoever can get on and off pit road. I think for the most part, usually we'll see a decent amount of the field still being able to stick together, but whether you have a penalty or just a bad stop or just being slow in and out of pit exit on your in lap and your out lap definitely makes a big difference. And if you are not able to stick with that lead pack, it is going to be really hard for you to find a drafting partner that is going to go any faster than that pack will to catch back up. So, like you mentioned, man, it's really
third lane. It is a brewing back there.
Yeah, we got
looks
little
like
action there.
Seth Gruber and Kevin has found each other and went to the top lane. I think that's
around Nick Wing there, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Wing to 28. Yep, correct. Mm-hmm. Nope. It looks like they're going to third lane. Yep. Is Kevin going to go with him? Yes, he is.
2 McDonald's machines side by side now. Battling for the 9th position at the moment. Spud Steele throws a little bit of a block.
Oh, Jim. Looks like Paleshi was thinking about it.
Yeah, Andrew's trying to jump up there. We'll see on the backstretch if he joins or not. As the 82 just going to jump up to the outside, going to get a good push from the 32 and the 25. As the 32 is actually going to jump down to the bottom or the middle lane there.
Wow, really? Interesting.
Push Jack Walls there forward in that middle lane.
Huh? Because I know Kevin hates fuel saving. I mean, he absolutely loves fuel saving. That was a joke.
I don't think anybody likes fuel saving.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I will say we did have some really great finishes towards the end of last season with some fuel save and some new winners for that, and that was genuinely fun to watch. But we'll have to wait and see how the yellows fall if they fall.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of bobble. Yeah, a little bit of a bobble between the 83 and the 32, because the 32 was trying to give him a push. But now that third lane has come alive, and look who we found up top there, Boomer. Look who it is, the 94.
It is. A couple teammates there lined up 3 deep in the outside lane.
Yeah, I think it's 4 of them. Am I correct?
37.
Oh, 37 got in the wall there. He's still in the wall. He's stuck in the wall.
I don't see him in a team chat, so I'm not quite sure where his allegiances lie. But that is okay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm assuming...
Oh, he might lose it.
Yeah, maybe not. Lose the draft?
Yeah, I think he's... Maybe. He's on the edge of it right now.
Yeah. Hate to see that for him. Got a little contact on the outside wall, and you see the pack now pulling away. He's about a second and a half back and fading, which is...
Well, they're not really pushing up there as aggressive as they usually are. Yeah, but since Kevin is up there, they might lose it.
Yeah, we'll see. There's obviously a couple front runners here that have changed at the scenery at the front of the pack. You got the 32 of Seth Groover now rocking the outside lane. Kevin Freese continuing to push him. Maxwell Caldwell and Andrew Pileshi settling back further for now as the top lane dissolves. But it's the 32, the 25, and the 87 of Keith Horner in the outside lane. The inside lane is Jack Walls, the 5 of Rick Sanchez, and the 85 of Adam Kilday, as Seth Groover gets the bonus point there if he hadn't already led a lap that we missed.
Nope. That's his first time leading. Hopefully, Mama Gruber is pretty happy right now to see their son up front.
Kevin Freese is going to try to do something about that, though. Oh, contact between the 87 and the 32! And we are going to wad them up here. That should be our first yellow of the night. You saw that live on the blimp cam. Unfortunate. That's a bit of a commentator's curse if I'd ever seen one, Matt.
I didn't do it.
Oh, man, hate to see that for Seth. Should be able to... Oh, man, that car is absolutely crab walking. He's going to get back to the pits and get his fast repair, so no worries as of yet for him. And we'll try and take it back and see how that action unfolded in the slow motion there. You see the 32 into...
Actually, if you can hop on board of Keith Horner's car, right inside the cockpit. So, if you're looking at him, he's giving Kevin Freese a good push here. See, you got it there?
Yep.
Okay. So he's giving a good push there, and then I saw him follow the 25 there toward the bottom. It was just yeah, it's tough times. You
Nope.
times you that little post in the way, and he was following Kevin Freese to the bottom, but unfortunately, Mr. Gruber was there.
Yeah, he was there, and you see him spinning there. We'll rewind it just a little bit, try to get another look at that action from the outside of the car. As you see them coming down the back straightaway, Kevin Freese jumps to the bottom. The bumpers kind of hook a little bit there for the 25 and the 87, and that sends the 32 to the inside. And he's going to come up and make contact with the 83 of Jack Walls, among others. So a couple cars with some damage there. The 83, obviously the 32, the 85 just barely gets through that. The 30, wow, skates through as well. You see Jim Brooks, after the fact, getting in a little bit of damage in the front end there, making contact. As you see Eric Laurie spinning in the back. Shouldn't be any damage, I don't think, for the 071 there from that, but makes a little contact with the apron. So some engine damage for the 51 there, though, it looks like. So we are going to jump back live, and pit stops have already happened. Jack Wallace is going to come out first. Austin Call will be second. Jacob Lee, Andrew Pileshi, and Bud Steele. And with the first yellow of the night will come our first commercial break as well.
40 of the ultimate shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
We will re-rack and stack the field here. You saw Jack Walls, you mentioned, for the commercial break coming off of pit road first, taking right side tires and fuel. Austin Call with the same call on pit road. Looks like Jacob Lee taking fuel only there. Andrew Pileshi, 4 tires and fuel. Bud Steele with what looks like could be right side tires. If it is a very fast right side tire pit stop at 8.52 seconds, could be fuel. But Brandon Paul, 15 seconds, definitely taking 4 tires and fuel there. So a bit of a mixed bag for strategy. We've seen actually a few. So yeah, the 9 and 7 seconds are probably right side tires. So Jack Walls, also called Jacob Lee. We see a couple further in the back taking fuel only. Adam Kilday, Maxwell Caldwell, Kevin Freese, Nick Wing, and they are closer to the 5-second range there. As we saw Carl Lingle and Gabe Butler spend about a minute and a half. Rick Sanchez as well on pit road. Jim Brooks spent about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So we'll have to wait and see if anybody is damaged enough to be off the pace. Obviously, that was a big hit for Jim Brooks at the front of the that front bumper there. Could be some engine damage for him, unfortunately, but we will keep trucking with the rest of the field here as the pace car is going to get ready. Oh, no tires for Jacob Lee. Okay, good. Appreciate you confirming that. So 7.5 seconds is enough for fuel only, but we are green flag and ready to go here. 83 back up through the gearbox. He is going to get a jump on the field ahead of the 64 and the 82 in the outside lane. A little bit of a disconnect for a few drivers here as we come through the short chute into turn 1. Outside lane forming well now as the 64 and the 82 are lined up. 3 teammates back-to-back in that outside lane there with the 3 of Brandon Paul as well as they get a good run towards the front of the field. Jacob Lee now to the back bumper of the 83 of Jack Walls, and they're going to try and see what they can do to control the race from the bottom for now. As you see the 3-car breakaway able to jump to the bottom, teammates are going to try and control this race for the Team Junk Food Racing drivers.
Junk food.
Jacob Lee jumping back out to the outside for a second there and settling back into the inside. He's got the 6 of Matt, 6 is not Matt Wagner, it's Bud Steele in this series.
Yeah, I'm not racing.
I know you're not racing. You run the 6 on Tuesdays though, right? That's where I was confused. Ooh, Austin Call a little slow there. And he's slowing down. Got by. Jacob Lee was able to get by through the middle there. There's a moment there for Austin Call that we didn't get to see, unfortunately, and I don't have a great way to, other than just rewinding it, so we're just going to leave it for now. But Austin Call is going to settle back to single file, 9th in line, as that breaks up the pack. You see back up at the front, though, is Nathan Warner in the 7th position at the moment. Good for him, able to capitalize on the issues he had getting out of the draft. As we've got a bit of an interesting disconnect here. You see Gabe Butler here kind of leading the second pack. He'll be caught up in a second here, but he's got the 94 who looks like he has some side damage there from that caution, quite a bit of damage, as well as the 85. And further on back, we've got Nick Wing, Dean Wilkinson in this group here, as well as Bob Fitzgerald further on back. Bob may actually be losing the draft at this point. Dean Wilkinson, Eric Laurie, and the 28 of Nick Wing there in that group. And we've got a further disconnect further on back between Seth Groover and Keith Horner. Some of this could be damage from the wreck. I don't think so, because Seth would have had to probably take a fast repair there for the car to be that clean. So not sure what got them out here, as they are now about 13 seconds off the lead. Brandon Briggs has the 51 of Jim Brooks, and that's pretty much everyone other than Kevin Freese by himself had to pit here after the green flag flew, so not sure if there was a penalty involved with that or not, as Rick Sanchez also having to do the same. So assuming those were some penalties they had to serve under green flag there, Matt?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a shake-up in the back. There was a little bit of accident back a lap ago. It looked like trouble between... you have to go back on it, but...
Yeah, it's tough.
Maybe,
I can't really rewind it to at this point.
Yeah, so it's the 5, 25, the 18, the 87, and 32 all got tangled up in it. just tough break for those guys, but no caution flew, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here because
Yeah,
I know the 25 pitted to get his damage fixed,
you can get that
and
faster. Yeah.
yeah, he is currently the first car scored 1 lap down, so it's all for naught for now.
We'll have to wait and see. He's probably going to be caught by the pack that Jim Brooks is in a moment. There are only 3 seconds separating the two of them. Rick Sanchez is about 17 seconds back, and I don't think he's got any help at the moment. But yeah, we've got a new leader up at the front. That's Brandon Paul. He's going to grab a couple laps led here while we talk about the chaos at the back, which, again, unfortunately, we couldn't get a good replay point for, so I apologize. We're not going to be able to show that, but the 3 and the 82 still teammates lined up not side by side. They're nose to tail at the moment on the inside lane. Jacob Lee in the outside getting a push from the 64 of Austin Call as we continue around and complete the first third of this race this time by.
Well, that shook things up.
Yeah, it definitely did. Obviously, the first yellow there shook up a little bit, and then that shake up at the back of the pack took out a couple front runners in Kevin Freese and Rick Sanchez.
We are
Unfortunate
3
for them, for
wide
sure.
with.
Ooh, a little bit of touch there, a little touch there.
Yeah, a little toucher by 64 and the 21.
We keep it moving. We got someone blinking out back. And
yeah, that was
intensity's ramping up at this point.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary.
Ooh, one out of the pack there. Is that the 04 of Ambrose Knievel? It looks like.
It is. He is on the apron of racetrack. Please come up, please. Oh, okay, we're good.
Yep, gets it straight and collected. He should have a drafting partner in Eric Laurie, but they might have to act fast or lose this back of the draft. As Andrew Pileshi now we see at the front gets past his teammate. Austin Call is going to jump to the inside. Teammates 3 in a row on the inside now. Jacob Lee has the help of Nathan Warner and Adam Kilday in the outside lane at the moment. Dean Wilkinson is about 0.8 of a second back from the lead draft here. Should be enough to overcome, but it's definitely close. Eric Laurie and Ambrose Knievel have lost this pack.
Oh, no.
We'll have to wait and see. Bob Fitzgerald, Seth Groover, and others have found themselves in this pack here. So you see the 25 in the 08. The 08 on the lead lap. The 32 also on the lead lap. Brandon Briggs and Keith Horner are also here on the lead lap. So lap down cars of the 25 and the 51 at the moment. This pack trying to get back up to the front of it. And I think that leaves Rick Sanchez out by himself as pretty much the only one who doesn't have a dancing partner at the moment. But he should have the pack coming through fairly quickly to pick him up. And that will put him pretty solidly as the first car 1 lap down.
Hey, he's pretty much the hottest driver.
Actually, he'll be
in Area 51 right now.
Yeah, he'll be 2 down because he's scored 1 now, so he'll be 2 down by the time they catch back up to him.
Don't worry, we got drop weeks.
So Andrew Pileshi has taken over control of this race on the inside lane. 2 teammates behind him. The outside is the 21 of Jacob Lee and the 37 of Nathan Warner, followed by Adam Kilday. So it's Pileshi, Call, and Paul on the inside at the moment. As Call's going to jump out to the outside here and drop to the back, it seems.
Looks like Nathan Warner and trying to give a 21 a push here. Looks like they're coming to lap Rick Sanchez.
Yep, trying to get organized to not be 3 wide there. And they should collect Rick here, at least by the backstretch, I think. Yeah, you see him coming into frame there.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, I hate to see it, and Pete even more that we really didn't have a great way to replay that, so apologies again from us in the booth. But definitely unfortunate to have a race incident go like that. Sometimes it happens. You know, it's not on iRacing to catch every single yellow. Obviously, the sim does a pretty good job at throwing yellows when we need them, but there's a lot of times where you know, they just whatever circumstances in the code for the simulation just doesn't throw one, and sometimes it's not warranted to throw one either. So we'll keep rolling green as we are about 14 laps past the first yellow flag pit cycle, and probably getting to be within about 6 laps or so of the hopefully first green flag pit cycle.
Just to guys let you know at home, and Rick got caught up in somebody else. It wasn't his own doing, but it's all good now.
It's the way racing goes sometimes.
Yeah. At least we didn't have a pileup like they did at Atlanta. Oh, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos there. The three of Brandon Paul continuing to click off a few laps led here, getting the push from his teammate Andrew Pileshi, followed by Jack Walls and Bud Steele. The outside lane is the 21 of Jacob Lee, the 37 of Nathan Warner, and the 85 of Adam Kilday at the moment, as we will complete lap 32, working on 33 now. Some of our highest movers, Dean Wilkinson up 10 spots, even though he's at the back of this pack at the moment here. Brandon Paul is up 7, Andrew Pileshi is up 7, Jacob Lee is up 8, Nathan Warner is up 7 himself. See a lot of movement side to side from the action shots as you see looking down the front and the back stretch here.
Well, we got two different packs there, Boomer. That packs that were all spread out have pretty much found each other now.
Now being led by Eric Laurie, Seth Groover, Bob Fitzgerald, Keith Horner, Brandon Briggs, and Ambrose Kniebel of the lead lap drivers. This group has Kevin Freese, Jim Brooks, and Rick Sanchez. Actually, Rick Sanchez has joined the front pack, so yeah.
They're actually gaining. I'm looking at the times here. Eric Warrior last time by ran a 47.12, and whoa, that's actually not that time by. Andrew Pileshi ran a 46.7. When I looked at the times before, they were 14 seconds behind. Now they're 11.9 seconds behind.
Starting to catch up little by little. We'll have to see what the lap times are this next time by across the stripe.
Oh, that was considerably faster.
There you go. Eric Laurie, 46.32 to Andrew Pileshi's 46.71 the last time by. So inching slowly, little by little. I don't think that they're going to be able to make up the gap that they have in its entirety, though. So we'll have to wait and see. But if that trend continues, definitely bodes well for them. But that's a big 11 seconds really is a big hole to climb out of. But if they were 13 or 14 or whatever, Matt, you said, definitely starting to show some promise for that.
Yes.
The only shakeup is that we're coming to the first round of green flag pit cycles within a lap or two here.
All right, Jacob, you've been hanging out in the top lane too long. When are you going to take the lead? It looks like Brandon Paul is going to the outside, and it looks like Jacob's going to give him a push. Yeah, he's going to end up pushing Brandon Paul up to the lead.
Brandon Paul settles back in front of the teammate Andrew Pileshi with Jack Walls and Bud Steele. Jacob Lee, the 37 of Nathan Warner, and Adam Kilday still rocking the outside lane as others are settling into single file on the inside as they head down the back straightaway. No takers that time by. Lap 38. Last time we pitted was lap 17 under yellow flag conditions.
Yeah, I was just checking on it, actually. Because I know they're pretty close to their window right now.
Somewhere in the 20 lap range. We've seen, I think, people stretch to almost 22 at times as well if they're further back in the pack and don't lead any laps at all. So it's definitely possible to go a few more laps for sure. Jacob Lee now getting a really good push in the outside lane from the 37 and the 85 as he is going to be free and clear to the lead. And he's going to drop down in front of the 3 of Brandon Paul. The 37 and the 85 here running the outside lane.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy about that because he's been trying for many, many laps to lead a lap, and there he goes. 1 lap left for Jacob there.
And 1 bonus point towards the championship as Nathan Warner is working with Adam Kilday to get to the front. See if they can take over the lead of this pack. So we got 1st through 13th in the lead pack here. We've got 14th through 21st in the second pack, and then the lap car of Rick Sanchez here in this front pack as well. And they're losing a little bit of time there now. 12.25 seconds, Eric Laurie back to the leader. So there's definitely a little bit of a gap that is growing again, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's mostly of Seth trying to push Eric Laurie, and if they can trade between Kevin Freese and them, that would be fantastic for those guys. But right now they're kind of holding steady at probably about 12 seconds.
And we'll see the 37 of Nathan Warner get clear down to the bottom.
Oh, we got some pitters there.
Ooh, 37 with a bit of a moment, but he comes down on pit road.
My goodness.
Wow, look at how much ground the 88 made on so many drivers getting to pit road.
Wow.
That was incredible. But Jacob Lee, Brandon Paul, Andrew Pileshi, Maxwell Caldwell, Gabe Butler are in this time.
No speeding penalties.
So far. That's going to leave Adam Kilday, Jack Walls, and Bud Steele on the track. The 5 of Rick Sanchez, a lap car mixed in there as well. Looks like some of the second pack came in as well. Nathan Warner was in the first pack.
Here comes part 2 of the first
the 64 pack. Spins in front of the 6, and he's going to get tagged on the inside wall. Big contact for the 64 of Austin Call.
That's going to hurt.
Adam Kilday, the 5, and the 83 of Jack Walls are all going to lead them down. Some of the second pack also coming down pit road. Eric Laurie, Seth Groover, Keith Horner, Bob Fitzgerald. And that should be everybody now coming down pit road. Andrew Pileshi and Gabe Butler have linked together. So have Carl Lingle and Jacob Lee. The 94 of Maxwell Caldwell, Brandon Paul, and Dean Wilkinson are a pack of 3. And we'll see where they come out as far as our leaders. You see the 85 of Adam Kilday. He is going to be behind the 5 of Rick Sanchez. And we'll have to see how they blend to the race leaders because they will not have the momentum as they come off of pit road. But so will the cars with a huge head of steam bound the back straightaway. And it looks like they're actually led by Carl Lingle at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if him and Jacob Lee have enough momentum to continue all the way to the front, or if Adam Kilday with the tow from the 5 of Rick Sanchez as well as Jack Walls have enough to get up to speed before they can get there. As you see them all now coming into the frame, coming down the front straightaway, to take lap 43. And they should have plenty of momentum to easily get around Jack Walls there.
Which is phenomenal pit stop.
Yeah, great green flag pit stop cycle. Adam Kilday got the lap led there. I think that was his first of the night, so a bonus for him. As this front pack continues to reform here. Bud Steele looks like he's the only one shuffled out of this pack.
Mm-hmm. I think Rick Sanchez is trying to stay at least one lap down. Oh, it turned into a three-wide situation there.
The 21 of Jacob Lee is going to have no help as the 30 and the 82 are going to fizzle out. The middle lane is going to fizzle too, so the 21 and the 30 have no help now. Everybody else in the bottom lane being led by the 5 of Rick Sanchez in that position. That puts him only one lap down, but he would not be the first car one lap down because that would be Kevin Freese.
Yep. Yeah, so during that pit stop cycle, we did have a couple of stragglers. Bud Steele, unfortunately, got caught up in that little mess with Austin Call there. He is now 5 seconds off the main pack, but that actual second pack has gained, I think about 2 seconds on our lead pack there.
Yeah, they're about 11 seconds behind now, so that's about their best. So they gain a little bit of time to it there. And obviously for Bud Steele, he's going to fall back to that pack. Bud had probably the longest time on pit road between the cones at least, 37.65 seconds. Most others in the 36 to 35 second range. So unfortunately for Bud Steele, not taking advantage of that, and part of that being caught by the spin from the 64. But good news for the 64 was he's able to get that fast repair taken, and he is still up here in this pack. So unfortunate for Bud to have that happen in front of him and have to slow down and check up enough to get off of that lead pack. So it doesn't take much, as you mentioned, Matt.
No, it don't take much at all.
So a reminder, as you see it here, that's the 82 in the outside lane. The 5 is not racing for the race lead. He is racing to stay only one lap down. Behind the leaders, he is 2 laps down. Ahead of them, he is only 1 lap down.
That was a little bit of a moment by Carl Lingle there on the top lane with trying to push Andrew Palesci there. The 21 of Jacob Lee almost got into the back of him, but it was a nice recovery.
Ooh, we see a little bit of a step out there for the 30. As that outside lane fizzles out just a little bit for a moment. The 5 and the 85 continuing to lead here at the World Center of Racing. Two by two, 3 cars deep. The rest are single file in the inside lane. 82, the 30, and the 21 are the cars on the outside in this lead pack. And as a reminder, this is the top 10 now that are running here with the lap car of Rick Sanchez in this group. We're making a little bit of headway in this second pack, though. Seth Groover now.
I was getting ready. Yeah, I was getting ready to mention
10 seconds back, so that's 1 second gained after the pit stop. So Seth has a 25 of Kevin Freese behind him. Kevin noted as one of the best pushers in the league, which is the person that you want to have as a second car in this pack to try and get them back up. So we'll see. They're making some really good time. We'll have to compare the lap times as they come across the stripe. So Seth Groover runs a 46.47 to the 46.79 of Adam Kilday.
Yeah, now we're under 10 seconds now. It would be amazing if they do catch up. Oh, man. It's going to be fun to watch when they do.
Yeah, we looked back just to make sure we're still rolling clean at the front, because that was a very slow lap. Or, sorry, no, it wasn't a slow lap. It was only 0.3 of a second difference there. But, yeah, definitely gaining some ground there from the pack further back. Once they get within a second, if it's even possible, that is when they will absolutely be able to reel these guys in and get back to it. But they are making quick work of that. We'll check the laps as they come across the stripe this time by and see where that evens out. But you still see Seth Groover there getting the push from the 25.
About 0.3 of a second faster than our lead pack that time. So I give it probably about 12 more laps. Then we'll see where they're at right now, because right now they're tracking to about 2 seconds when we go for our final green flag stop.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Still about 0.3 of a second, about 2.5 tenths or so. But the front pack still being led by the lap car of Rick Sanchez. Adam Kilday will get the lap led that time by Jack Walls. And the outside lane is still the 82 and the 30. Jacob Lee just waiting behind them patiently. As by the time we take this should be our final pit stop here for this next green flag pit cycle. We are about 5 laps away from being able to go to the end. And we're probably another 10 laps from having to pit. So one more stop for everybody in the field if we can make it to the lap 55 or so mark. You see the lap car of, looks like Brandon Briggs there getting down to the bottom. Getting out of the way for our leaders. Last time by, Andrew Plessis runs a 46.62 at the front of the lead pack. And the second pack, Seth Groover runs a 46.59, only a tenth. So they're able to get to 9 seconds now.
Yeah.
But a
well,
tenth
that's
of
got
lap
to do
is
with
not going to do it.
Yeah, so they had the draft of it looks like Brandon Briggs there. They're up to lap him, so they gained a little bit of time there.
Making an effort indeed, as they are now within 9 seconds. They were as far back as, I believe, 14 or 15 seconds at one point in time. As we are now counting down the laps and no longer counting up, as we've reached the final third of the 75 lap race distance here at the 2.5 mile oval. A couple other takers to the outside lane. The 94 and the 64 are going to jump to the outside for Team Junk Food Racing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, when is Max going to make that move? I think now's the time.
In the middle of them is going to be the 21 of Jacob Lee, and then there's another of Andrew Plessis, actually 4. So Jacob Lee is the Highlighter Bros sandwich in the Team Junk Food Racing. 2 in front of him, 2 behind him, and that makes up your outside lane. 5, the 85, the 83, and the 88 on the inside at the moment. And Seth Groover and company still about 0.2 of a lap faster, still trying to see what they can do to make up that deficit, but I don't think it's going to be enough by the time they come to this next pit stop. But if they can stay organized and aligned, they may have enough to get towards the end, but it's going to take a lot of effort and a really good pit stop for some of those drivers.
I got faith.
Adam Kilday's kind of patiently riding it out behind the lap car, keeping his teammate up ahead.
Yep. I would just ride, save fuel, help your teammate out.
As we mentioned, this keeps Rick Sanchez only 1 lap down, as he is ahead of the leader at the moment. Behind him, he would be 2 laps down. Quite a few other cars on the single lap down mark, so he won't get the lucky dog if a yellow were to come out, but it is huge for him to only be 1 lap down, as cautions do tend to breed cautions towards the later stages. But we are getting to the window to go green to the end with 1 more pit stop, as we are now down to 21 laps to go. And we'll see. I think for the most part, you'll probably see these guys run it out, which means that I think most of the pack is actually going to pit with about 15 laps to go, maybe 15 to 10 laps to go. But we'll have to wait and see. how that unfolds as the 94 and the 82, as well as the 3 and the 64 are now the only 4 in the outside lane as they try to continue to march forward. A little bit of damage there for that 94 machine, but he is trying to get to the front, and he is actually ahead of the leader, Adam Kilday, at the moment. He should be able to get this lap led, and we'll see as they come across the stripe. He's actually going to get in front of the lap car of the 5, and they are going to control the front of this for Team Junk Food Racing.
It was a good push by Andrew Palesci. He's been working at it. Probably boiling hot, and yeah, just dropped to the inside. And Maxwell Caldwell to the lead. Hey, my pick.
There you go. Trying to manifest it. You'll have to see. We'll have to see if you can.
Oh, what are you doing? You're going to the back.
Yeah, he's going to get shuffled out there, unfortunately. He got that lap led, and I think he's just going to let his teammates kind of ride it out for now, but we'll have to wait and see. 64 is going to get to the bottom. It tells us that people are probably starting to think about pitting for the final time here, as Junk Food Racing really has slowed down in the outside lane. So you can tell they're getting organized to get ready for pit stops. So that puts 5 back ahead of the pack for now, as the leader in the 85 leads us around. 85, 83, 88, your top 3 at the moment. Jacob Lee in the 21 is 4th. Carl Lingle, Andrew Palesci, Brandon Paul, Austin Call, Maxwell Caldwell, Dean Wilkinson make up your top 10 and this lead pack, as the second pack has closed the gap to now within 7.7 seconds. Still clicking off a 10th or 2, as Seth Groover and the 25 of Kevin Freese are trying to do everything they can to try and compete for this win. Ooh, this is going to be a lonely pit road there for Nathan Warner, it looks like.
Oh, boy.
First car to pit to go to the end.
Yeah, you got to have friends, and right now, Nathan Warner's going to have to find some real quick.
18 to go and completely single file in the first pack. A 46.68 for Adam Kilday as the leader to Seth Groover's 46.54, and we see pit stops here. Okay, look, a little bit of a lockup there. Really aggressive into pit road. Adam Kilday, Jacob Lee, and Dean Wilkinson are going to follow them down, as well as Rick Sanchez. That leaves Jack Walls to the lead. Carl Engel, Andrew Palesci, Brandon Paul. This is about a 6-car breakaway.
Once again, no tires for the 5 and the 85. Just fuel only.
Looks like the same for
as they come out
Jacob
1,
Lee
2
as well, yeah.
And look at here. The 55 of Dean Wilkinson.
Oh, there's
he's
a
been
bit
chilling
of a
back
wreck
the whole
here. We're
time.
going to talk on pit road.
Oh, boy.
The 3 of Brandon Paul is going to make contact. As it comes down pit road, Jack Walls, Andrew Palesci, Austin Call, Carl Lingle, Maxwell Caldwell, and Brandon Paul in this time. 3 got spun around. Gabe Butler also had to come down by himself. Actually, no, he stayed on pit road for a pit road speeding penalty. So this is actually going to give the lead back to Seth Groover and Eric Laurie in the second pack. They were only about 6.5 seconds behind our leaders as they pit. And then the issues for Brandon Paul. No penalty for Brandon Paul, but the penalty is going to be that he comes out much later than the rest of his teammates and not going to be able to connect with them. As we see,
this is going to, yeah.
This pack's still continuing.
Look at Adam Kilday pushing the 5 car. Right now, as it sits, they are in great position. But the problem is, when they pit, they're probably going to be by themselves. When the 04, the 51, oh boy.
Yeah, so the second pack here, Ambrose Kniebel has not pit. Nick Wing has not pit here. The 08 of Bob Fitzgerald has also not pit yet. So the 5 and the 85 here in this group. Now you see at the front of the pack, it's still Seth Groover. They're staying out for now. Seth Groover, Kevin Freese, Eric Laurie, and the 071. They're doing everything that they can to try and stay ahead of the pack. Remember, they were about 6.5 seconds behind the leaders that came in as they were, led by Junk Food Racing and the 21 of Jacob Lee.
Look at the momentum of the 55. Watch them come around to the outside here. He did have a head of steam, but he just got killed.
So we've got 14 laps to go. Seth Groover continues to lead this front pack, being pushed by the 25 of Kevin Freese, Eric Laurie, and the 87 of Keith Horner, as well as Bud Steele. These drivers have not yet made their final pit stop. In the second pack, still being led by Adam Kilday in the 85. And you've got some other traffic here with a mix of drivers who have and have not pitted yet. They're going to collect the lap car of Gabe Butler as the 51 and the 04 are going to make their pit stop this time by the 55 and the 5 pushing through to the lead with Jacob Lee for this second pack. Dean Wilkinson, Jacob Lee, Adam Kilday have made their final pit stops, and they are scored about 30 seconds behind the leaders as they are going to come down pit row.
Things have shaken up quite a bit, Boomer.
Absolutely. We're going to see this pack coming off of pit road. We'll have to see how they merge. Seth Groover is going to be the lead here. Bud Steele, Nick Wing, Keith Horner. And they are going to have the pack running by them here. As you see the 55 at full speed. So we'll have to see how well they can reorganize and get back up. They had about a 6.5 second deficit. And we'll see where they're at when they regroup. But there are 12 laps to go. Dean Wilkinson is pushing the 5. Remember, Rick Sanchez is 1 lap down as it sits. The 55 is your race leader. Bob Fitzgerald is 1 lap down. Actually, the first car 1 lap down. Then you've got the 85 of Adam Kilday as Bob Fitzgerald finally makes his final pit stop here. So it's going to be the 5, 1 lap down, the 55, the 85, the 82, the 21, and most of the Junk Food Racing group here, the 82, the 64, and the 94 are in this lead pack. The 88 of Gabe Butler getting out of line as he is a lap down from the pit road speeding penalty. So there's 7 in play here at the front pack. Dean Wilkinson, Adam Kilday, Andrew Pleshy, Jacob Lee, Austin Call, Jack Walls, and Maxwell Caldwell, to name them all. Seth Groover is now 8.5 seconds back, so they lost a little bit of ground in this green flag pit cycle. And Seth has the 6 of Bud Steele to try and push him up to the lead. They are in line, in position. Seth, Bud, Nick Wing, Keith Horner, Eric Laurie in this group. Kevin Freese is again a lap car as well. Carl Lingle falls off of the draft, but he has help from the 18 of Brandon Briggs. Nathan Warner in the 14th position has help from Brandon Paul, who we saw Nathan Warner we saw pit by himself, and Brandon had the issues getting onto pit road. Then you go back to Gabe Butler in 16th, who had the pit road speeding penalty. Kevin Freese in the second group, as well as Ambrose Kniebel. And then we mentioned already Brandon Briggs. Richard Sanchez is at the front of the pack. Jim Brooks
here we go.
is by himself. And we'll focus on the front pack for the rest of this race. There it is, that second lane forming there, Matt.
I was saying, here we go, because it's starting to brew. You got 10 to go, and drivers are getting itchy.
Jacob Lee pushing Andrew Pileshi with Maxwell Caldwell on the outside lane. As the 5 of Rick Sanchez is going to jump up in front of them to try and control this race is a lap car.
Really?
Gets a big
Oh
push.
my goodness.
The 5 is still trying to do what he can to stay only one lap down. The 82 is going to get to the lead. That's going to disconnect the dancing partners of the 82 and the 21. It's going to be the 82 and the 55. The 5 still the lap car in the outside lane. Jacob Lee pushing him now with the 94 and 64 in line behind them. So remember, there's 4 in the inside lane that are eligible to win this race. The 5 and the 88 at the front and the back of this pack, respectively, are a lap down. The 21, the 94, and the 64 are the only ones in contention in the outside lane at the moment. As Jacob Lee makes contact with the outside wall and the 55, and no yellow has thrown yet. We still roll. The 82 and the 85 are going to resume the lead. As you saw the 55 getting caught up, the 21 getting caught up in an incident. Jacob Lee slow with a lot of damage. The 55 slow with damage. The 5 with issues as well. As we stay green on the racetrack, 7 laps to go. The 85, Andrew Pileshi, and the 82. The 94, Maxwell Caldwell, and Austin Call are the only 4 left in this lead pack.
My goodness.
You saw the
Tough
issues
break
for
for
Jacob Lee and Dean Wilkinson.
Yeah. Tough break for those guys. He was in prime position.
And unfortunately for Adam Kilday, he's going to be left without a teammate. And it is going to be Junk Food Racing's Andrew Pileshi, Maxwell Caldwell, and Austin Call with the help of each other to get to the front of the pack.
But Boomer, my pick is there.
Yeah, there's only 3 Junk Food Racing drivers and 1 driver for the Highlighter Bros left. No caution thrown for what was even a bigger incident than we had in the middle of the race.
Yeah,
most of that
wow.
action falling to the apron on the backstretch. And a yellow has to be thrown with a car at a certain angle. I think it's maybe 45 degrees or more to the, going straight on the racing surface. So if there is no caution that gets thrown, it is up to the admin's discretion to throw one. And none was thrown as we still continue to stay green here with 4 drivers trying to battle this out. In the outside lane, it's the 82 and the 85, the 94 and the 64 lined up inside lane. It's going to be really tough for Adam Kilday here to get anything going, as those 3 teammates are going to try everything they can to make sure they're the ones on the podium with 4 laps to go as we're going to cross the stripe this time by. We'll have to wait and see.
I wouldn't be too sure that Adam and Gabe have run many leagues together, so I know Adam's got a friend with Gabe out there, so don't be too sure of that. But we'll have to, as you say, wait and see what. There's the move being made. Yep. Looks like Gabe Butler is going to follow suit with the 85.
We'll have to wait and see, because I know Gabe Butler typically has strayed away from influencing the outcome of the race as a lap car in the past, but he is in a position to try and help the 85 at the moment. It'll be 3 at the stripe. The inside lane will be led by the 82 of Andrew Pileshi, followed by Maxwell Caldwell and Austin Call, as the 82 is now going to jump to the outside to try and cover the run from the 85 and the 88. The 94 is going to stay to the inside of the 85, and they're going to see what they could do to communicate and try and win this race. Adam Kilday doing everything he can with a little bit of help, as the 88 is going to settle on back to the back of this pack and let these guys race it out. The 85 trying to do whatever he can. There's touching between the 85 and the 94, trying down the backstretch. Lots of aggressive blocks and movement here.
Yeah, 85 is trying to side draft the 94. trying everything in the book just to try and slow those cars down. Two to
Trying
go.
everything he can all over the door of the 64 as they contact again.
He's trying everything.
2 laps to go. The 82 is going to move back to the high side to try and cover. The 85 is going to get around the block.
They're going to the third lane. Look at that.
3 wide. The 85 gets around the 82. Oh, contact between the 82 and the 88. They stay moving forward. As it's the 85 and the 94 side by side. The push from the 88 of Gabe Butler.
Yeah, but they're not going to have the manpower. They have the 3 cars there. Oh, 64 is pushing the 94 for all it's worth. But
these guys are doing everything they can to not wreck.
I know it, but we got the white flag.
White flag this time by Maxwell Caldwell is going to take the white flag. The 85 and the 88 in the outside lane with the help. Inside is going to be 3 teammates from Junk Food Racing, the 94, the 64, and the 82. 1 lap to battle it out. They're going to go down the backstretch for the final time. And we will see, does 94 throw the block to the outside? Does he let him get to his outside as they are almost dead even now down the back straightaway?
Oh my goodness. The 64 has to stay on the 94's bumper. Hold them tight there. Here we go.
Through the short chute and into the tri-oval. Side by side, they battle.
It is going to be.
It's a wiggle, and they crash coming to the line. It's going to be Maxwell Caldwell.
I'm 2 for 2, Boomer.
2 for 2.
Wow. As you can say, that was a well-deserved team win. 100%.
94 finally breaks through with a win here on Thursday nights. Help from the teammates Austin Call and Andrew Pileshi, and Adam Kilday with the help of the lap car of Gabe Butler. Adam's going to come home in the 2nd position tonight.
Look at this. Look at this on the front stretch.
Some
graduated bump from
competition.
Yep.
Congratulations from the 88. As a 94.
Maxwell Caldwell finally breaks through. What a job.
And Austin Call is going to make contact with him at the end of the race.
Oh my goodness! But
all right, well, we've got to bring up the 64 of Austin Call. He's going to be our first of 3 interviews for tonight. As we'll jump right into it, up into the broadcast booth, the 64 of Austin Call, giving the push to the teammate to get the race win for Maxwell. Austin, great team effort it looked like at the end of this one. You guys were working really hard to keep Adam Kilday at bay, and want you to take us through what it looked like from your view in the driver's seat.
Oh, for me, it was just push until the engine exploded. I think I was at 267 degrees across the line. I don't know how we made that work. I thought my engine was gonna die, and we were all gonna die in like a big ball of flames, and Kilday was gonna somehow pull out with the win. But that went pretty well, I think. This is my first top 3 in a while. I mean, obviously, really happy for Max getting the win. It was a great race. Great team win there, and yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting to see. Obviously, you guys kind of came out ahead at the final green flag pit cycle there, and really, I mean, obviously never looked back. There was some issues there with the yellows, a couple yellows that maybe could have been thrown, but you guys were able to keep it straight and forward and capitalize on that. It seemed like, I know we actually talked to Maxwell at the beginning of the race, and he kind of predicted a little bit of chaos with it being at night, a little more grip, but a little more urgency maybe. But maybe talk us through some of that. We saw a couple incidents that could have been yellows, but we stayed green and kept racing.
Yeah, I mean, the car it felt like it was on rails all race. Very, very loose. So like the handling wasn't amazing, but it felt like all the cars felt. I bet everybody else felt it too. It felt fast, felt racy. Um, there was, I mean, some of those wrecks. I feel like I didn't see what caused them, but I'm just glad I made it through them, and all my teammates made it through, minus Brandon and Chad. Um, but I mean, yeah, it was all aggressive. I know I spun on pit road at one point, trying to be way too aggressive, getting onto pit road and locked a tire up. But just minimized mistakes and came out with third.
Yeah, actually, was going to ask you about that. We saw that recovery there from pit road. Fortunate for you to be able to still make or keep up with the that pack there and not lose the draft. What happened there? Was it just getting a little hot as you came into the pit stall, or what was what happened there?
I think I locked up a tire. Um, I was just I got in a really deep, and I usually can trust myself to go deep into pit road, but I think I just locked something up where it lost control. Some shifting happened, and I got lucky with the way I hit the wall, spun me back around the right way, and I was able to stay up with the pack. Had to take a fast repair, unfortunately, but didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, definitely did not matter at all, and you were kind of in the right place at the right time, and were able to battle it out for that finish there, Austin. But congratulations, definitely looked like a pretty solid team effort there at the end, and I want to roll out that red carpet for you for any thanks or shoutouts for that third place finish.
Yeah, I'd like to obviously thank my teammates, especially Andrew and Maxwell. Stayed up front all night. We all got lap slid. And then also Brandon, he was up here for a while. Obviously Chad had an incident early, couldn't stay up with us. Really wish he was able to stay up because he's always pretty quick here. But yeah, and then I gotta thank my family, especially my grandma. She always watches these races. She's watching right now. I know my mom's watching right now as well downstairs. Um, they let me do these races every. I think this is my 5th day in a row racing a league race. So um, they always let me do these, and it's really fun.
Yeah, definitely. Always good to have that support at home to do this thing, and yeah, I want to say congratulations once again to you, Austin, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that will be the third place car of Austin Call. We are going to bring in the 85 now as we look for Adam Kilday here in Discord. We found him, bringing him up to the broadcast booth for the second place finish tonight. Adam, a lot of action for tonight. Couple incidents that didn't throw yellows, but you were able to battle it out there at the end and had a good fight with the junk food racing teammates. And unfortunately, only able to come home second, but a valiant effort without a lot of help. Take us through what it looked like from your perspective in the driver's seat.
Yeah, first off, it's unfortunate. You know, the yellow didn't come out after those incidents, and the field couldn't get stacked back up. Would have been nice to compete with those guys, especially some of the veterans in this league at the end there. But yeah, the shootout. Huge shout out to like Gabe for helping me because it was definitely outnumbered there, man. But yeah, so this was an awesome race. That was one of probably the greatest endings I've had to a super speedway. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've seen you up at the front of the pack for a couple weeks now at least. A pretty solid start to your season there. And saw you at the front of this one as well, kind of mixing it up there. Obviously in the right place at the right time. And when kind of some of the chaos kind of fell, but it looked like for a while there, you and teammate Rick Sanchez just kind of had the mentality of trying to keep him ahead of the lead, so that he could try and stay one lap down and maybe eventually get back to on the lead lap. But I assume that was more of an executed strategy that you guys had as teammates there.
Yeah, we on that first green flag stop, I came out behind him and I was looking at the track map and I'm like, all right, we're the front two cars. Rick's in front of me. I should be leaders, so I'm just going to decided to push him as much as I could, keeping him out front. But yeah, I managed to keep keep the temps somewhat down to keep him, in the free lucky dog spot. So it worked out for the time being. I wish dang something would have happened so he would have got caught back up and help him out for more points at the end of this thing. But it's unfortunate that it didn't work out in his favor. But I mean, it was this was definitely this was an entertaining one. Same with last week. So I had some trouble with internet, my connection last week. And I managed to fix that. So I hope you guys didn't see me blink out at all or whatnot. So hopefully that worked out.
Yeah, it looked like it was better this week, and I'll be honest, I forgot about that. But yeah, it definitely sucks to have those connection issues. Obviously, sometimes all the time in real life racing, there's mechanical failures, but sometimes there can be different kinds of failures within iRacing, and it's just sometimes unfortunate, but the part of what goes with it. But hopefully you're able to get those fixed, and seemed like it was. I can't remember if there was any blinking tonight, but it seemed like it was doing better tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah. Just the ISP guy came by and swapped out the modems, so all that worked out. But heck yeah, definitely, shout out to the team guys that I was racing with at the end, Max, Austin.
Yeah, they I think
Andrew.
they go by Junk Food Racing. Yep.
Yeah, so that was just racing. So I'm glad, they didn't hook me or slam me up to the wall or nothing, or
Yeah, you guys
vice
were.
versa. I didn't net code anyone, so I'm glad that didn't freaking happen. So
Yeah, you guys were leaning
heck
on each
yeah.
other pretty hard. It was fun to watch.
Awesome.
Well, yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah, you kind of given them all, but I assume that's probably all the thanks shout-outs you want to give. If there's any more, obviously you're feel free, welcome to do that now if you have any more.
Yeah, shout out to Area 51 for letting me back in on Thursdays. I had a long inactivity stunt, so I managed to sneak back
I
in
got
here
you,
for
Adam.
this season, and yeah, awesome, dude. But yeah, Area 51, the admins, Matt Wagner right here. He's my teammate
Hi.
on Mondays. I don't know where you
Yeah,
were
that's-
last Monday, man. Oh, what happened?
I needed a break, brother. I needed a break.
Oh, I got you. Fair enough, dude. I hope you enjoyed it, man. But yeah, what is this? This is what YouTube is this? Broadcast?
Green White Checker TV. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to you
Yes.
guys to Green White Checker TV on YouTube. So, but yeah, that should about do it.
Yeah, good deal. Well, congratulations, Adam. Hard-earned second place finish for you tonight, and hope to talk to you again soon, buddy.
Awesome, will do. Take it easy, mans.
Alrighty, we've got
Wow.
one more interview to do, and that is going to be the race winner in the Hot Tamales Chevrolet of Maxwell Caldwell. And I don't think I really need to tee anything up. Probably could just let you talk. I know you know how these interviews go, being a former broadcaster. So why don't you ask yourself some questions and answer them, and then we'll get to some of our questions too. How's that?
All I'm gonna say is I told you in the pre-race who's the real 94. No, man, it's fun
Ow.
race, fun race.
You should listen back to broadcast because he kind of like give you a.
He'll find out.
I'm not gonna say you'll find out.
Hey, I know about Boomer is. When we broadcasted together, we'd argue about it on some streams.
Yeah. Well, man, a hard-fought win. We saw a great battle between you guys and the 85 at the end there. You and some of the teammates in the right place at the right time. We saw you guys capitalizing at the beginning of the race. There was more energy in that front pack with that strategy that you kind of mentioned at the beginning of the race before the race even got going. Take us through how that looked from your vantage point.
Well, my vantage point was from the back most of the time. I somewhat got up there with them. Then we had that one yellow. After that yellow, I was kind of in the back because I was already back there, and I'm like, I'm going to top off. So me and Gabe are back there riding, and we go to pass the 75, and I don't know if he just moved up a little, if Gabe just moved down a little. It's kind of one of those deals, but they touched, and when the 75 came up, he hit me right in that left side door and gave me about 25 seconds of damage. Didn't think it affected the car much until really that second to last run. I could feel that I had to give it a lot more throttle to stay with the pack. and I never got another yellow to fix that. So we finished the race with all that damage on the left door. Don't know how it looked from the stream because I can't really see from the cockpit, but.
You'll see from the interview. We got a good shot of it right now.
Oh, I'm looking down now. Oh heck yeah, yeah. That hurt. That hurt the car a little bit. Never did use that fast repair until when I went to go do burnouts and Austin killed the car.
We saw that
So
too.
I had Andrew push me so I could do burnouts. But no, we finally had a race where team execution was key. They were really running great up there. They were 1, 2, 3, I think, at one point on that bottom lane, just trying to control the race. Like I said, we're not against the boot knockers, but we knew their dominance and we knew we had a team that could go against them. And it's just getting everybody to not go lone wolf at the end, you know. And I feel bad for Andrew. I was so committed to pushing him there at the end when we had that small pack. We got really fortunate, I think, that a lot of those guys fell off where we could really have some control with it. But it wasn't easy. I mean, Adam was at one point we're like, he's not even side drafting. He's just dooring us. Like we could feel him just knocking our cars down to the apron. He was that close. But it wasn't out of dirty racing. It was just tight racing. And I don't know that my car was great at pushing there in the middle just with some of that damage. I thought it was, but it could have been the side draft on the outside. I don't know. But once Andrew, he was trying to control lanes, and we were telling him, come down in front of me, move up, you know, trying to make sure one of us won. And he had that move where he lane swapped, and it just didn't work. They put him 3. So when he got to the back of the lane, I said, boys, we really can't shuffle now. I'm not being greedy, but we can't shuffle now. Just stay bottom and push. And sure enough, we about wrecked it across the line. I think most of them did. Yeah. I got really squirrely from some of those pushes in the tri-oval out of 4. From the exit of 4 on that last lap till the start-finish line, I was all but wrecking because we didn't take tires that last stop, and the right sides were getting burned up. But, wow, what a race. Didn't expect to win with a damaged car. Hate it for some of those guys that got involved in some stuff, but like my teammate just said in another Discord to our buddies, what a show. I hope that was just as good from the broadcast booth as it was from the cockpit because it was intense for sure.
It was crazy to see you guys battle it out. I know, obviously, I think we all agree that it was definitely unfortunate that some of the yellows couldn't happen there. The way iRacing throws cautions, sometimes they just don't catch them, especially if it clears off to the inside. But that action that we saw at the end there was very exciting. Lots of action. I know you said you guys were making a lot of contact between you guys and the 85, trying to see who can get to the end there and get that win. But it was exciting for sure. And you kind of predicted that chaos at the beginning. We didn't really see the yellows, but we saw a lot of the action. And you kind of predicted it, like you said in your previous interview there, Maxwell.
Yeah, I thought it would be more, honestly. And I think if that wreck we had there that took out a lot of the field and left just our 5-car pack, if we would have had a yellow for that, I think you would have saw a string of them. I'm not going to lie. I think we'd have had 2 or 3 more. It would have just turned into a crapshoot at that point. But it's kind of neat. It's not when you're in the wreck, but when you barely miss it and you see you're still in the draft and you hear no yellow, and you know it's just you and like 2 or 3 cars, like it's really a chess match at that point. Like it's just as stressful as having a full pack, really, because any of you could win it at any time. One wrong move and you go to the very back of that pack, you know. So it was, for a small pack as it was, that was the most intense racing in a small pack I think I've had on the sim ever. So like I said, I was wheeling this thing and trying to keep it straight. I mean, the shoves were intense, but I had some really fast teammates to help with that. So,
yeah, good deal, Maxwell. Obviously, excited to see you finally break through. I know we've talked to you quite a few times in the last year or so, but having trouble finding that victory lane, but you found it tonight, and you're going to park that car there tonight. So want to roll out that red carpet for you for any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for that win.
absolutely. First and foremost, got to give all praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He allows me to be able to meet all these fantastic people here in Area 51 for many a years now. Matt knows. Many a years I've got to meet some of these guys and race with them, and I can be a hothead sometimes, but I have a lot of fun with it too. That's why I keep coming back. So thankful that he allows me to come and race and get to build all these friendships and relationships. It's been awesome, the connections I've got to make. All glory to him for this. Got to thank my teammates, Andrew Palesci, Austin Call, Brandon Paul. Did an awesome job tonight just executing. I hate that Brandon wrecked on pit road. I heard y'all call it. I leave the broadcast playing while I'm racing, and I heard y'all call it. And I was like, I barely missed him too. When he did that, I had to slow down about 12 mile an hour on pit road to avoid that. So, but hate it for him. But he rallied for a 9th place, so that was pretty cool. Thankful for you guys up in the broadcast booth. I know firsthand the work it takes to get into it, and if you ever have any technical glitches, how frustrating that can be. But glad y'all had what seemed to be a smooth night tonight. I do feel sorry for you though, Boomer, that you had to put up with Wagner that long. That's a long time to put up with old Wags. But no, I'm just kidding. Y'all do a great job though. I go back and watch these some after the fact to kind of learn from, and it was good fun. So, and thankful for the league for putting this on. They've dealt with a lot of crap for many years, but man, these finishes just keep getting awesome. I really hope y'all enjoyed that one. That was pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm still waiting on my time.
Well, you got to get in the car again, Wagner. And I told you in those trucks I'd push you, and then you quit.
You damn right I quit. I went to IndyCar. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you got me in an IndyCar. I'll give you that.
I will say one thing. Okay. You got to go what you love. I love IndyCar. It's my thing. I love broadcasting with these guys. I love it. I'm going to stick with it.
Absolutely, man. You do a great job being one of the admins here. But again, great job to you guys on this broadcast tonight, too. Awesome job.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Maxwell, and congratulations to you. Obviously, miss having you up in the booth at times, but good to see what you're doing out on the track, and excited to see you finally get that race win. I will say, I don't mind the whole 94 battle. You can have it for now. We will maybe someday settle that in the sim here, but for now, I'll let you have that. But no, it's always fun. Fun to banter with you, buddy, and congratulations once again. And no matter what, let's say I'm really happy to see a 94 in victory lane, no matter who's in the car. So congratulations, buddy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Alrighty, that will do it for driver interviews. We'll bring up that final race results for you here. As we get through the rest of the finishing order, Maxwell Caldwell, our winner here. Adam Kilday, a valiant effort there, fighting tooth and nail, absolutely, to try and win this race, coming home second with a great night for him. Austin Call, the spin and able to come back from that was incredible to see. We did not expect him to be able to catch up to that lead pack, and not only did he do that, but he was able to grab a couple teammates and stay up at the front for the rest of the race. And Andrew Pileshi there pushing as much as he can with his teammates to try and get the 1-2-3 finish, but settling for 1, 3, and 4 for tonight. A really good effort for some of those junk food racing guys. Bud Steele is going to be the leader of that second pack. He's going to come home in the 5th spot. Seth Groover there came back from quite a ways back to be able to be up in the 6th position leading the second pack for quite a ways through the middle stages of that race. Keith Horner there coming through with that 7th place position with Nick Wing, Eric Laurie, and Brandon Paul in the top 10. Obviously, unfortunate to see some of the action that took out some of these drivers. And Nathan Warner there is going to come home in the 11th position in the 3rd pack in the field with Nathan Warner and Jack Walls. And we had Carl Lingle there in the 13th position. Then the rest of the drivers 1 lap down. Gabe Butler due to a pit road speeding penalty. Honestly, at this point, don't even remember what had happened to Kevin Freese there. But, oh no, it was the contact, the incident in the back that we didn't get to see. That's why I don't remember it. So Kevin Freese was a part of that. Unfortunately, put him a lap down for the rest of the race. We saw some contact there towards the end for Jacob Lee in 17th, but forgot to mention there Ambrose Kniebel as well, caught up in a few things for Blind Squirrel Racing. Brandon Briggs came home in the 18th position, also 1 lap down. And on the second page of the race results, Rick Sanchez, who was also involved with the incident with the 25, unfortunately having come into pit road to take that fast repair and battle back from that, which was really tough with a race that had no more yellows after that incident. Bob Fitzgerald's going to come home 2 laps down. Jim Brooks also going to be 2 laps down. It looks like Bob and Jim actually had speeding penalties on their final pit stop, so very unfortunate to end the race that way. Dean Wilkinson, we saw him get caught up in some of the carnage with a couple laps to go. Chad Jones there, about 20 laps in, had his incident and put him out of the race. And then obviously Matt and Mike not taking to the starting grid for tonight to round out the rest of the finishers. But It was a exciting race, even if it was kind of segmented or pretty broken up there for most of the field, but nonetheless, an exciting finish from the 4 cars that were battling out at the end there, Matt.
Yeah. Wow. Those couple of little shakeups with the not caution flag has really turned that race around, and wow, I'm just a very exciting finish. I was actually really happy to see um, to go 2 for 2 in my interviews.
You'll have to pick next week's race winner as well. I think we have to make this happen now that you're 2 for 2.
Yep.
You have to let us know
Well,
who you're going to pick. Well, don't obviously
n-
don't let us know, but we'll have to wait and see who you pick for next week.
yeah. But other than that, it was really an exciting finish. But too bad for the guys who got caught up in some of that mess, and the yellow didn't come out. That's pretty unfortunate for those guys there. But uh, as I say, there's always next week. But I've been there, done that. It's terrible.
Yeah, definitely. But as you mentioned, next week we've got the schedule up here, and we will be back again at the iRacing Super Speedway. We will say goodnight from the leap day at Daytona here and finish out the last 2 races of the regular season with iRacing Super Speedway and Talladega in the coming weeks. We'll take a week off, and then we will have 4 weeks of nonstop playoff action for you to finish out the first season of 2024 here. So we will invite you back for iRacing Super Speedway and Talladega in the next 2 weeks, and can't wait to see what happens there. Obviously, always got to mention our other partner leagues here at Area 51. We've got the Tuesday IndyCar Series and the Sunday Super Truck Xfinity Series as well. So
Hmm.
always be sure to subscribe and tune in to Green White Checker TV for all of the chaos that happens here 3 nights a week in iRacing. But yeah,
Sunday the trucks will be at Daytona, and Tuesday we will be at Nashville. That is a new track that I think we ran that one time. Craig Forsyth was the winner of that race, but let's see if he can repeat.
you have to specify which Nashville that actually is because there's 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. A Nashville Super Speedway.
There you go. So not the fairgrounds and not the, well, I guess maybe the Nashville
Yeah, you can't race
IndyCar
IndyCar
races and in
any
iRacing. Yeah,
grounds.
anyway, so there's 2 of them, but
No.
yeah, so you'll be at the Super Speedway in Daytona this week for the um, truck series, and yeah, lots of fun. Um, always appreciate everybody watching. There's a lot of guys and gals that watch the race live, and appreciate all your support as well as the drivers who a lot of these guys watch back and um, give feedback and listen to how the broadcast went and see how the race went. So apologize to you guys for tonight. We missed quite a bit there because of some of the green flag action. It's sometimes difficult for us to get a good rewind point, and other than just rewinding through the field, it just doesn't seem right to do. So but say our apologies for that, but it was still some great racing that we got to see some really interesting green flag pit strategies, and definitely some incredibly hard racing from just a few drivers there to finish it out. But nonetheless, a lot of fun, and we appreciate always everyone that supports us here and allows us to do what we get to do here up in the booth, and everybody in the league who keeps things running smoothly. So for that, for myself, Boomer Logan, and for Matt Wagner, we'll say thank you, and we will say goodnight, and hope you take care and have a great week.